Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Terrell. Thank you for stopping by Esteemed Queen Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you know when we have our tea talks. And also be sure that you go over to the website, esteemedmentality.com. There's a link down below. And that way you're able to get introduced and be introduced with the warrior community. And, over in the warrior community, we actually have something going on podcast wise. So make sure y'all go and check it out. So I hope everybody, male, female, both, I hope you all had a great Father's Day. I hope you were able to spend time with your loved ones, hug and kiss on them, because as we know, today's time, we are not guaranteed tomorrow. People dropping like birds, flies, and then some. But what I want to tea talk with y'all about today really quick, hopefully my allergies do not start beating me up, but really interesting story. So, you ever have one of those moments like, kind of like the past comes up as far as like, you know, you see it, you're face to face with it in one shape, way, or form or another, but the test is to see if you really understood what you went through, for you to grasp that you're putting out there to the universe, that you understand like the grass is greener on the other side. So like, let me say that again. So pretty much we've all been in situations and circumstances and places and times where we have come face to face with something that we have learned in the past. Almost like a review. You know what I'm saying? Like you read the whole entire chapter, you do all the practices, you do all the little pop quizzes in between the sections, and yet you come to the end of the section or the lesson, and yet there's this big mastery quiz just to see if what you went through in that section, in that lesson, you understand, it's either for you or against you. At the end of the day, you still have to make the judgment call on what you want to do with the information that you now know you have. I like to think of it like this. It's almost as if like you understand like a piece of paper is white, right? But then you start understanding different things and time goes on. And then you understand that there's different color paper. You know what I'm saying? With understanding one simple thing, but exploring your options, whether it's you knowing that you deserve better, knowing that you have better, knowing that you're going to achieve better. In order for you to understand what's not for you, you actually have to stand your ground against it at some point. You know what I'm saying? Again, you take a lesson or a section that you know that you're going to be quizzed on eventually. You go through the whole entire section to find that, yeah, you do have a sectional quiz. And you have to pass it in order for you to understand your comfortability and moving on from it or with it. So, with that being said, I want to talk about what helps us make that decision. And in between the decision of taking it with you going forth or deciding to like leave it there, you need to stand your ground. I've said this many times before. I think boundaries is a huge lesson that we all have to learn. Life teaches us all at different times. And nonetheless, once you get beat down enough times to understand where you're letting people run over you versus you understand that, you know, that's a speed bump area. That's a trigger area that you need to work on. You will have things happen in your life that you seriously can't really comprehend or explain, and it's all because you have to stand your ground. You know, it's never good to know when, in the words of my father, you know, it's really interesting to know when the time comes for people to show light to who they are and to really put a definition to what type of example they're trying to set. You know, not everybody that you come back into cahoots with or you run past want to sit here and have cupcakes and tea with you. Especially if you left on a cliffhanger, either being about something or saying that you for something. But then when the time comes down to it and it's time for you to stand your ground, you're about nothing. That's more embarrassing than you losing a fight and you physically had to do some type of like damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like windmilling while you're in a boxing ring. Like, it doesn't make sense. However, anyway, get focused, Ashley. So anyway, you know, stand your ground. Stand your ground. There's nothing wrong with you standing your ground. There's like 3 different things that I learned within this past week and a half that has been very, very vital for me in the midst of me understanding boundaries, setting them, and putting people in categories of the ones who accept it, respect it, confused about it, or just don't care. Those people, like that group of people, those groups of people, I don't necessarily need to feel full in my life. So I can do away with those. So there's going to be, when it comes down to like you setting when you set your tone of what it is you stand for, your self-worth. So if you know that you're better than people who talk behind your back, you're damn sure not going to give them anything to talk about when you see them, or even when you've gone about your business, because that's the thing. You've gone about your business. There's nothing, you can't argue with a fool, but you can stand your ground and still be who you want to be and be who you are. They can't take that from you. All they can really do as they come and go is just take words, and they can take it right with their ass. Because as queen and king minded people, we have things of our own that we have to get done, and we can't worry about peon and peasant minded people. When you know your worth, when you stand your ground, sometimes you don't even really have to say anything. It's really all about how you hold your own. And if you hold your own where you know your worth, you're not going to be mistreated. You're not going to be mishandled all because someone's ignorant to understanding how to treat people how they want to be treated. No, you're going to bust a move. You're going to go on by your business as you should. As you should. When you understand your foundation and setting your boundaries to help you stand your ground, you're not going to take shit from nobody. Especially when you know that you have 10 fingers and 10 toes to get you up with 2 eyeballs in the morning to have you go to work and take care of your own household. That gives you the luxury of affording not to deal with things that you don't want to deal with, nor you have to tolerate all because they feel like it should be part of a benefits package. That's the great thing about making your own money. I don't need your shitty ass benefit package. I have my own. When I stand my ground, when you stand your ground, that's what you're saying. I own this right here that I'm walking on. So if you're going to come correct, do that. Understand it. Full perimeter, diameter too. Don't miss no corner. Do not leave any stone unturned. I feel like when you set the tone and you stand your ground, you make it so that you set the tempo as to like how you want people to treat you. Now understand that there's going to be people that are going to feel like you high strong. That's cool. They think you're abrasive. I say you're passionate. I'm in the same boat with you. However, there is that itty bitty group of people where if they're intimidated, you can tell straight off. And if they are intimidated, that's when the bullying and the hating comes into place, because they know that they can't get to you in forms of, like being nice, because that you're already that. So it's easier to hate you, to love you. And even then, again, I have a video out already about the duties of an enemy. How to deal with bullying, how to deal with haters, because they're out there. And when you're trying to understand what type of soil you about to plant yourself on, a lot of us feel like we're really on solid ground, and really we walking on sand, all because we haven't decided what's going to be necessary for us to say that we can hold our own. And sometimes the people that we have come across in our life that are supposed to teach us that, we don't necessarily miss the lesson. We fell in love with the wrong parts. Like people, they come to you whole in some fraction form or another, but really it's you who completes who you are. And you do that by standing your ground. Eventually people will come towards you that respect your boundary and know very well from afar you're not a person that wants to be fucked with when it comes to them knowing like this person's about business, this person's about this. You feel me? What's understood don't need to be explained. It really doesn't. And when it does need to be explained, this is when I say to people, do not allow someone else's journey, someone else's race to be the reason why you feel as if like you're not planted on solid ground. We all have what we need to be capable of fulfilling what our purpose is. If we all were to be built the same way, what will be different? And if we're all built to be different, what we're not like in similarity is what makes us so different to stay interested in staying connected. But that does not take away, that does not waver, that does not subtract, that does not omit, that does not cancel, it does not forfeit, it does not forego, it does not eliminate, it does not expire the fact that when you water yourself with things that you know, again, fills your cup, you're strengthening your own roots. That is your foundation. Think of it like this. When I was growing up, right? I'm gonna let you in on something. When I was growing up, my mom used to say the most wicked things to me. Like, just the complete opposite of what I hear from people. Like when people come across me or, we link up or whatever, they don't say presence. They don't say, hey girl, I miss your presence. They say, hey girl, I miss your enlightenment. Like that feels so good. My mom was the complete opposite. You feel me? So when you hear that for years, you get to a point where you start to believe that. And what happens is you decay your roots from the inside out. There's nothing worse than a beautiful tree full of sap. And there's nothing you can do about anything on that tree because the sap comes from the inside. You know what I'm saying? It comes from below the bark. It's in the tree. So you can't go in the tree and fix, how sweet or bitter you want the sap to be. You just got to deal with what's given to you. And that's kind of how I felt with when I was growing up. It was just more or less a thing of I didn't have an equal opportunity with a mother role to understand the ground that I walked on. I anoint it and make it as blessed as what I allow my words to be. And the actions that follow behind that are what fertilize my tree to grow. And if I make sure what I'm giving myself on a day-to-day basis is to be nutrients for me to love myself, for me to know that I'm self-sufficient, divinely made, etc. If I know I'm putting all that into me, there's no way I'm going to just let you walk up on me and feel as if like you can change me, this, that, and the third, and I'm going to conform to what you want me to be. Go get you a Barbie doll. Because there's an actual brain up here. You feel me? And people, we lose so much concept. We lose so much perspective of this because we watch the media and we look at magazines and titties out and ass out supposed to be all the things that make us feel secure. But yet all these girls are walking around here with these plastic ass bodies, can't feel themselves sit down, can't feel themselves when they eat food, and they still get cheated on. I'm just saying. Dudes go out here and get whole hair replacements so they can look younger. Women still leave them. Men still leave them. Because it's not in those things. It's in how you walk, it's in how you talk, it's how you carry yourself. So when it comes down to your foundation and you stand on your ground, that's a full self project. There is no partners in that. There is no getting into groups, come around, let's have an assembly. That's all you. Because how you stand on your own is going to tell a lot about what you attract. And if you don't believe in yourself and you have low confidence, take it from someone who's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. They smell it. So go over to esteemedmentality.com. Get your daily vitamins and minerals for your love, for your confidence. And make sure that you thumbs up this video and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I will see y'all on the next slide. Bye.
The depths of the media sees no evil. Buildings crashing 9/11, no sake for the people. Children take to everything. Others willing to feel anything just to say they were there. Boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, domestic violence. Do you care? When the curtains close, your head hangs low. You're wishing someone was there. Just turn to me for relief. I know how you feel. I am you. You are me. We share symptoms of the black sheep. Aren't you aware?
This image, I remember howling winds, nights trying to hustle to 10 degrees, ash on my knuckles. Coke in my long john, sipping on the breast. A tall glass of liquor, pickle, please, who get a sip of this? Coke in my long john, slave to the sin. Call me young coke there if the cops try to frisk. I may get a grip, I may get a grip. I may slapping 20s, lobster tails and some shrimp. I used to bump Wayne all day as a pimp, now I'm past Wayne, Drake and going in.